You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Messi plays football with 10 on his back. Messi, 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 Messi goat, Messi great, Messi, 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 Leo Messi is the best. Messi, 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 football Messi, soccer Messi, 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 quality in the final third. Messi, 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 link up play, run in space. Messi, 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 football analysis, compact defense. Messi, 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 overlapping runs, high press. Messi, 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 high line, tiki taka. Messi, 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 Messi.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Heroes are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 313 of the Battle Heroes podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, alongside me as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
It's a beautiful day in paradise, my friends. I mean,
yeah, man. Andres, the new intro song, Nose Ball. Absolutely. There we go.
If you don't get your knowledge right there, I mean, we literally packed everything for everybody.
I'm ready to go. Look,
I think we should just end the show.
Soccer ball. I got my soccer ball. I'm ready. I got my plush, my little Messi plushie. We are ready. We are ready to go. We're cooking. We got the football knowledge. We got all the phrasing. Like we're ready. We're ready. Unfortunately, this was a banger, but it was a one-time banger, one time only. We'll go back to the old intro after today, but we just want to hit you with that banger one time real quick for those of the people that were saying that we don't talk enough Messi and our football knowledge is crap. So there you go.
They get Messi and football knowledge.
Absolutely.
High line.
Absolutely. Why does Danny have breast? I don't know. Why is that Mr. Krabs? You always weird, make some really weird comments, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, come on,
all
Mr.
Right,
Krabs.
So
Sean asking, who's this messy person? Don't get flamed on the chat, Sean.
All in good fun. That was just directed to the people that say we don't talk enough Messi. But on Saturday we did have that conversation, right? Quite a bit on the show.
Yes.
You know, we try not to bring light to the people that talk a lot of crap. But after that, we did get a lot of comments in our YouTube channel for people, I guess, that didn't watch live. And we did want to shout those people out because there were a lot of people that said a lot of nice things. Because since I gave attention to the few people, right? Because not a lot of them, but the few people that do talk a lot of crap for some reason. I did want to shout out to all the people, and because it's a lot, I'm not going to read the whole comment, so especially for those of you in the audio, but I did want to put them up because I do want to shout out. So real quick, actually, this one wasn't a compliment, but this person asked a random question. Why do y'all call it wife beaters? That sounds insane. Chris, do you know why they call those wife beaters?
Well, yeah, because and you mentioned you wrote back. It's typically because in a lot of the cops shows, when it comes to domestic violence, the people that were, I guess, charged with the domestic violence would typically have a wife beater on, like they
would have those tank tops, those white tank tops, and they ended up being just referred to as wife beaters. So and yes, crisscross today, Michael. Shirt is backwards. I got to rep the king. So all right, now these are the comments that we were referring to. So first, shout out to Somaya Lahiri. I hope I said that somewhat right. Love the channel. Here NTOM
Entumes Imango. So this is
again,
a nice
we're showing you love. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, but thank you to you, Lynn Rother.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
And this one we're not reading. That's Letrosa. Letrosa 1956, and the road goes never on.
Shout out to you.
This one, no, that one I want to read. Go back.
This one?
No, the last one. Unless leave that for the end. Leave this one for
Okay.
the end because I do want to
All
read
right.
that one.
Metallica, yeah. Shout out to Metallica, yeah. Summer Sunshine, Rubita D1H.
Yep.
We
Shout out
got Remo Trent. We got two from
Remote
them.
Trent again. Andrew T.
Andrew
Yep.
T.
Maria
Mary
Lara
Lara.
Musen. And then Opera Vux. These are just quick comments. There's a lot to read,
Right.
so we're not going to read through all of them. But
And
go
then
back to
this
that
was
comment.
well, real quick. This was Chris's favorite, the Loner 10. And I know Chris wanted us to make sure that we put this one up.
Yes, and look, the Loner 10 has been rocking with us for a while. Says, they've been listening to our show about 2 years. Always a pleasure tuning in. Lately, they're checking out other podcasts as well. They're good too, but this one holds a special place for me. It was the first podcast they subscribed to, so I always come back at it. They were very critical of the show and of our coverage, and I agree. Look, it's good to be critical. I think it's fair. We want your criticism. We want to be better as much as we can. There's always ways that we can be able to improve, and that's the kind of criticality that I think is warranted.
No hate comments this time. Surprisingly, Mr. Krabs. But I appreciate everybody that took the time to tell us to ignore the people. Somebody brought up a good point. They're like, it's probably teenagers. And I don't know why I never considered that. It's probably like teenagers that are just talking crap. So, yeah. And then you said you wanted me to put up one more, and then we're gonna get onto the football talk. We want to make sure we shout out to these people.
Yeah,
because they were nice enough to leave comments.
This one right here, and the road goes ever on, says, remember, people, MOTM, man of the match other than Messi, is a compliment to Messi. It is inherently acknowledges that the GOAT Leo Messi is pretty much man of the match every game. It allows fans to say that while also spreading some love to other players too, or else that segment would get so repetitive. Each time Danny and Chris says man of the match other than Messi, they're complimenting Messi 1,000%. And look, there's a lot of people that have followed us, Danny, that come from the Messi mania-ism, and they've fallen in love with other different players that they never would have heard of unless they followed this team.
Shout out to Tommy one time, pointing out that I'm wearing my jersey backwards. Yeah, this is how I do it now.
We breathe this air. You breathe this air too, okay?
My little,
get it right.
My little guy right there. There we go. All right. Anyway, so back to footy, right? We spent the first 8 minutes just joking around, but we do appreciate the people that had the kind comments and the loner. We take your criticism seriously, and we'll try to do better. All right. Messi saved us. First topic. Messi saves us. The first 2 games, all jokes aside, Messi really did save us those first 2 games. Yes. The only goal that we had against I'm blanking, Sporting KC was a bit of Messi magic. And then this Saturday, when we played that nighttime game against NYCFC, the through ball and then the cross to Toto Aviles.
Yes.
Messi is on his A game. And he cares, which is my favorite part of this. Because you could tell he wants to win. And I think that one of the things that kind of showed that is the way he kind of went at the ref. Now, this is a video that's been going around, right? And everybody's been making a big deal about Messi going at the ref. I don't see what the big deal is. Players do this in all sports all the time. No? Like, isn't this like a very normal thing? If somebody really, if they feel like the ref is doing a poor job, at the end of the game, they usually go after the ref. This is nothing new. I don't understand why everybody's making such a big deal about this.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's you've seen it happen in a couple of instances where Messi and mostly like Jordi Alba or Luis Suarez will, chop off at the ref.
Well, and I'm just perplexed. And then the comments were even better. It's like, oh, it's Messi's league. He can do whatever he wants. Didn't he get a yellow card for that?
Yes, he did.
Like,
yes, he did.
If it was his league and he could do whatever he want, he wouldn't have gotten the yellow card. Like, the ref, you know what I think happened on Saturday, which we didn't talk about on Saturday or the episode before then. was the report that came out that supposedly the ref from the Champions Cup game last week requested a jersey from him, right? Supposedly he says for a sick family member. I don't really believe that. He probably just wanted it for himself. But regardless, that's not a good look. You don't want the refs. You don't want the refs asking one of the players for a kit because it shows some type of favoritism. So I understand the beef. But I think this ref took it upon himself to really like prove like, no. I need to make a point here that I am not favoring Inter Miami in any way. And I think he might have taken it a little too far. Like that second yellow card should have been a red, right? That guy should have been kicked out of the game right before the halftime.
I feel like he was just trying to do whatever it takes, not only to not favor either side, but to be stern with Inter Miami, knowing the big names and the big personalities.
And I don't think that he was going against Inter Miami, but I think he made it a point to like really make sure that he wasn't going for Inter Miami, right? And that's honestly what I think happened with the ref. And you know what? Yes, the ref does deserve blame for that, right? You need to be a professional, but at the same time, I could see why that's a tough spot he's in. Like all the scrutiny, the amount of I'm blanking here.
The amount of scrutiny.
The amount of scrutiny, thank you, that the ref from the other game took because of that, I'm sure he felt pressure to like not follow that up. I'm not excusing it because he still needs to be better than that, but I could see where that came from, okay? But all the people saying like, oh, Messi can do whatever he wants. It was so silly. But as this was happening, go ahead, Chris, before I continue.
Go ahead, because I might bring up something off of the point that you're about to make.
Okay. Well, as this was happening, a couple of feet away, you had an NYCFC.
Yeah, I mean, it was an assistant coach for NYCFC, right? That they ended up, I guess they were a couple feet away, and Messi ends up approaching them. You see him sort of go for like the back neck grab, but it wasn't like people made it out to seem like he was choking him out. He wasn't choking him out, but I think he did sternly grasp at the back neck area, like, you mother.
I kind of liked it. I liked it.
But like, why would...
Did you watch the replay?
I did, but I'd like to know what the guy said, because like...
The guy was mouthing off to Messi. Probably, just making fun of him for going at the ref, or saying like, oh, yeah, of course you would. Whatever he said, I'm 100% sure it wasn't positive. Yeah. What I like is that Messi touched his neck and said, hey, you want to continue this conversation? Then he pointed at the locker room. We can have this conversation over there. Like, I ain't no bitch. Like, let's go over there. Let's have this conversation over there. Yeah. I'm all in for spicy Messi. Messi isn't messing around this year. Messi is showing that he cares. And I'm all for that. And then for everybody that's saying, like, oh, what a horrible look. He grabbed them by the neck. Shut up, you soft asses. He didn't grab anybody by the neck. You talk shit, you're going to get... I'm going to touch you and say, hey, let's go over there.
Come see me outside.
That's come see me inside in this case.
Yeah. I mean, there were people that were posting online literally said that he was choking this guy. Like before I saw the picture, I literally thought that he had his hands like fully around the guy's neck from the description that people were giving. I was like, oh my goodness, they're going to let Messi choke somebody on the pitch? Because from my angle, I couldn't see it.
I wish I had the picture, but I don't know if you remember one of those friendlies that they played in Central America, where Busquets really got like somebody
he got
really
choked
at his throat.
Yes,
that's having your hand on somebody's neck.
Yes, it is.
This was, come on, man. He was just inviting him to have a conversation inside, away from the cameras.
And Duran WA with the greatest name in his name of all time. Messi is all in this year. Watch out, everyone. This Messi equals Thanos. Yeah, it's like what Danny said. Look, there's no Olympic break. There's no like big FIFA break. Like, we're going to be able to have Messi thrash this league all year long. Aside from injuries, you're going to be seeing a lot more Messi than you did last season. That's going to be problematic for the entire league.
And Messi saying deserved yellow for Messi. That's fine. I don't mind the yellow. I just think it's silly that everybody's like, oh, it's Messi's league. He can do whatever he wants. Shut up. And players from every team all over the league and all over the world do this. Like, it's not that serious.
And the other Argentine, Cello, was ready on one leg, hobbling to throw down. He is
Yeah,
definitely the heart. He is so about
absolutely.
that life.
He was
And
hobbling around right before halftime, and he hobbled straight to the
yeah,
squabble.
yeah. Hobble to the squabble. That's a good one.
There you go.
So I do think that the ref took it a little overboard, but that's
Mhm.
something that I guess we had to have sort of kept in perspective considering the game against Sporting KC. Because I mean, that's not a good look when you have a ref that's wanting an autograph by Messi, and Messi is the person that scores the game in -4 degrees, feeling like -20 in Kansas City. Like,
No, look, and I understand why people were I don't know if the word is upset, right? But they're alarmed that the ref was
yeah,
doing that. It makes sense to me. I get it, right? Because then you're like, oh, come on, like you can't be showing that much love to one of the players. So I get it, but I don't know. I
yeah,
think the
it
ref
makes
tried
a
to
lot of sense.
overcompensate. Yeah. All right. So going back to the first leg from last week, obviously it was a sloppy game. We think it was a lot of it due to the weather, but I think Messi saved us. But we're back at home tomorrow. Weather is back to normal, right? It should be what, high 60s maybe? High
I
60s.
would say
My
so. Yep.
question, anything that you want to bring up from the first leg that you think we should discuss before we start talking about tomorrow's game?
Well, I think one of the key differences, look, the thing about the first leg is like the circumstances are just a complete 180. Like very big difference in weather, very big difference in the play. People are going to be able to plant their feet. People are going to be able to run freely without hoping that they don't slip. We're talking about like full blown where like people are going to be able to play a lot more freely. I mean, passes were not connecting, even with players maybe like 7 feet away from each other.
And then the fact that Sporting KC didn't look good last week, they didn't score this week when they played against Austin FC. Like Sporting KC hasn't looked good, and we're gonna catch them again. I feel like we're looking pretty good. I would say going into this game because Sporting KC hasn't showed necessarily that they are ready to go in the attack. Or I mean, I guess defensively they haven't looked horrible. They only allowed one goal against us and one goal against Austin FC. Um, so uh, Chris froze. Yes, Chris did freeze. Chris, it looks like you're working on 56K dial-up.
I mean, I'm here.
All right, well that's good. I'm glad that you're here. So center backs. So Aviles can play tomorrow. Falcon should be available again, I would assume. And there he went. He just left. So I guess I'll refer to the chat while I wait for Chris to get back. Who do you think will start at center back tomorrow? Now, the reason I ask this is because Avila seems, to me at least, like an obvious choice. But at the same time, do you want to risk? And I thought up until Saturday, Aviles looked like he had finally like matured a little bit, right? In the preseason and the first game, he looked like he had done well. But seeing as how Aviles is almost a danger to make a boneheaded mistake, do you feel comfortable with Aviles, Toto Aviles, starting tomorrow? And then, so let me get to the chat where Gus is going Aviles, Allen. Okay. Allen, Falcon. Falcon and Aviles should start. Chelo is outdoor. Yes. Well, I haven't heard officially, but I would assume Frey, Aviles, Allen, Alba. Well, I will tell you, Frey needs to be the right back. Are you back 100%, Chris?
I believe so.
Yes, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Have Toto in there, get him back on the horse. That's what B King says. I do think
I'm okay with that.
that Toto should play. I do think that he should play. I don't think right now is the time to like punish him for the cardism that he does. And then on top of that, you're not going to use him next Saturday or next Sunday.
That's a good point. Let's say hypothetically, you start him tomorrow, and he makes a critical error. Because if you think about it, the last out of the last 3 games we've played that count, right? That matter. 2 of them have been not won off the back of a Toto Aviles, I guess, error, you can say. That last Atlanta game where he kind of just threw himself on the ground and everybody
Yeah.
stopped playing, even though that's on his rest of his teammates also. That was on him, technically. And then this past Saturday, right? So are you willing to roll the dice with him? I am. I'm okay with him back there. I'm okay with him and Allen or him and Falcon. I'm really want to see what Falcon has. And Frey has to be the right back. Alba the left back. How are you feeling?
The thing about not playing Aviles, this is the dangerous game to play, guys. Like, I don't know if you guys understand, but Aviles has been consistently our main starter at that position for quite some time now. Like, Noah Allen is just starting to get into it. And in reality, in my opinion, I think that this is his job as well. Noah Allen deserves to be the left center back. My name is Jeff. You're on drugs right now. Frey is garbage. Listen, Frey just in last game in like 30. Yeah. Absolutely. And there's some more Messi from you. Okay. Telling you, anda pa allá. Okay. Because Frey, listen, Frey, okay, hold on. Because my name is Jeff is saying Frey gets trooned every time. I don't know if he's saying
he turned the ball over every time.
Yeah.
I don't think he did. Now, the thing is, when you're down to 10 men.
Oh, no, that he got turned, he's saying.
Twice. Oh, I don't remember seeing that. But I thought you were talking about turning the ball over because I felt like he was taking it upon himself to be aggressive in the attack. He was the one progressing the ball with 10 men. When you're doing that, you have to take risk. I felt like I was okay with the areas that he was committing because he was going for it as well as the rest of the team.
I need to ask this question. I was just about to trample you during this. Mitch is saying Frey, Lujan, Maxi, Jordi. Mitch, I love you, buddy.
Lujan.
I love you. But Lujan and Maxi,
wow,
first,
like fresh, like out the womb
for leg 2, buddy.
Still smelling like Similac.
I mean, this kid's coming out the box fresh like a pair of Nikes.
And with Lujan.
And with Lujan, who got turned 45 times in the game that he played. Yeah, and I still don't know. I still don't know what we brought Lujan here for. Is he a right center back? Is he a?
No, yeah, that's exactly what they're going to put him on.
Is he a goalie? I mean, I don't know. What we bring? What do we bring this guy? Is he going to turn in to another Coco Jean? That's the question.
No, he'll play. He'll get his minutes. I mean, look, he might play on Saturday.
I mean, we're totally. You know how good. You know how good Noah Allen has been. I mean, Mike D right
Jordi,
here.
Martinez, Aviles, and Lujan. First of all, if Lujan starts at right back, I'm going to be really upset. That is Ian Frey's position. There's no way that Ian Frey should not be starting at right back tomorrow if Chelo's injured.
I want to mention something here. Tomas is saying no to Martinez, right? No, this is how good, but Danny, this is how good Noah Allen has been. Martinez is an afterthought. To me, it should be guaranteed that Noah Allen starts at left center back, Toto right center back. Those two playing together have been pretty solid when they've both been playing. Like you guys throwing Maxi and throwing. I mean, Bigote, I see what you did there. Maxi Falcon as a double center back. I see what you did there, buddy. Listen, Maxi Falcon, everybody wants to see him play. But you throw him on a fresh pair of kicks into one of the most important games next to Lujan, who's getting turned like a turnstile. Like you guys are on absolute all kinds of the highest quality drugs. Okay?
All right, so let's get into it. Before we have Chad joining from us again from last week. We're going to talk a little more about tomorrow night. But before we do, let's talk about the starting 11. Let's just predict what do you think the starting 11 is going to be tomorrow before we bring Chad on. So luckily, keeper Ustari, right? That's a given. And Ustari, by the way, again, I said it on Saturday, man of the match of the Messi. I thought
Yes.
Ustari had a phenomenal game. The way he was coming out the box, he's proven that he has earned that starting job. So keeper Ustari.
Luckily, I'm not on drugs like everybody else in our chat right now.
Oh,
Francisco
Francisco
Garcia is here.
is overdoing.
Lujan is right back. You're on a bender right now, buddy. Like, what are we doing here? I mean,
wild.
supposedly
Lujan right back.
we brought him as a right back. Danny,
Before
so,
they
like,
put Lujan at right back, they put Kremaki at right back yesterday, no, or Saturday,
yeah,
and then they put Ian Frey while Lujan was on the pitch. Like, there's no way he's touching that right side of the pitch.
Listen, let's not even get started with you, Jeff. My name is. I'm not even going to do the voice for you, buddy. You're all on benders. Like, you're the first one that started this bender roller coaster.
Absolutely atrocious. I'm so disappointed in so many of you. Look, Rick A got Lujan at right. All right.
Now you guys are just overdosing on all kinds of snow right now. Okay,
all right.
My starting lineup is going to be Jordi Alba left back Jordi Alba.
And he's going to make a world of difference because last week, on top of the fact the weather kind of made that game really rough to watch, he wasn't there on playing that left side, and I think that he's going to make a world of difference tomorrow night. So Jordi Alba on the left.
Yes, now we have someone sober. Sean, now you're getting better today, Sean. You started off a little rocky. He's saying Aviles and Frey. That's the only way that I would like to see Frey is next to Aviles with Gressel as a right back. And that's a possibility. In my opinion, Frey should be right back.
Gressel is halfway to Philadelphia already. Don't worry about Gressel. Gressel's not playing tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I mean, look, I think it's going to be Noah Allen, Ian, and it's going to be Toto starting center backs.
You think Noah Allen's going to start?
Yeah, I think Noah Allen.
I think Falcon might start.
No, dude, don't do that. You have two dangerous card getters in the back of one of the most.
We don't know what Falcon is. And remember, I went and looked it up, and he was like 78th in the league.
These people you guys in the chat are willing to throw in Lujan, and you're scared of what Maxi Falcon is going to bring.
You're scared of what Maxi Falcon is going to bring. I just said that we should have Maxi Falcon.
No, but you're okay. What I'm saying is they're going to be card getters. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be getting a pair of these, and then we're going to be playing with like 5 players.
Well, and that was my fear of having Toto tomorrow. But I think they're going to run the risk. You think he'll start? I think he'll start. You think he'll start?
I know Allen starting, Toto starting. My right back is going to be Ian Frey.
And it has to be Ian Frey. But that's not even a question. Let's not even ask the chat that. Chat, don't even bother talking about the right back. It's Ian Frey. That's it. It's over. Stop it. Just don't even bother. All right. So that's the back line.
Easier. Let's go to the top. I'm going Luis Suarez and Messi, right?
Okay, obviously.
And then we'll do middle 4. We'll do Busquets and Redondo. Right. That's going to be your center mids. And then left mid, I feel like Allende is going to play right mid this game. I think he's going to start. And then left mid, I feel like they're either going to throw in Segovia or they're going to hold him like an ace in the pocket. And they're going to throw in one of the young guys like Kremaki or like Ruiz.
No, I think that's the best 11. And I think Segovia and Allende will always be in the best 11. They got to make sure that they win tomorrow. This is the Champions Cup.
Mike V, I would love this lineup in terms of having Bright, but if you saw the picture when he was walking up to the stadium, he literally has like a 10-foot bandage. He has a 10-foot bandage on his whole leg. His whole leg is a bandage. Reportedly, allegedly.
All right. So those are our starting 11. We want to hear your starting 10 because we don't want to hear anybody comment about right back. Okay. So give me your starting 10 in the chat whenever you want, but don't mention right back. Look at Rocco.
I mean, look, Rick A saying Rocco, and Rocco. Guys, give us your starting 10. We'll give it like 30, 45 seconds. I want to see some starting 10s.
All right. Before we bring in our guest. All right. So I do think they tried out the best 11 when I think we just named the best 11. And I do hope that if Ian Frey gets that job, it's one of those things where he kind of owns it and then it's his to lose. So let's see. I hope so. Look, Segovia, Messi, Suarez, Allende, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Chad is watching this wondering what the F are we talking about? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, what am I walking into? Like,
Yeah.
and then hold on, Mez is putting he's putting Alba Allen Aviles. Wait, Redondo. What do you do? Okay, maybe he's not
I
counting
told him to
because
put a starting 10.
he locked
I
in
told
Frank.
him not. Yeah,
All right.
no, yeah. I don't want to hear anything about the right back. We already know what the right back is. Don't even bother.
So Redondo, Bright, and Boosie on the field together, and then Ben Krem, Messi, Suarez. So he's got like a 4-3-3 going on here.
Nah,
He's got like a 4-3-3 deal.
with
Yes,
Ben
he
Kremen as the
does.
wing.
Yeah. Okay, we
All
got Bigote, Allen, Falcon, Lujan. Oh, wow. Frey, Redondo, Segovia, Allende, Boosie, Suarez, and Messi. I mean, what are we doing with Falcon and I mean, Alba, Allen, Aviles, Frey? Okay,
No,
Boosie.
that's basically what we said.
Yeah, okay. I could accept some of this. Now you guys are sobering up. I see
right.
this.
And my name Jeff said that Bright's gonna start over Boosie. That's not happening.
I mean, what?
All right. We'll keep putting him up as we go, but let me bring in Chad. He's at the backstage. Let me bring you over here. There you are, Chad. What's going on, man? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely, Chad.
We got Mad Chad in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not mad.
Yeah.
He's very happy. Very happy.
I'm a pretty happy guy. Yeah. Considering my team hasn't won any games this season and we're in CCC.
There you go.
I have realistic expectations, you know?
Well, how did you guys look against Austin? Was it because you guys were heavily rotated that you guys had a poor result, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem for sure. Part of it is that these players still haven't really played very much together. There's a lot of problems out there. Very defensive midfield again. I don't know how familiar you all are with Sporting KC's roster, but the guys we played in midfield against you, Jacob Bartlett, 19-year-old homegrown, that was his professional debut playing D mid in such an important game. Did pass it straight to Messi one time, but he had a pretty good game other than that. And then you have another defensive midfielder playing like attacking midfielder in Nemanja Radoja, who's not an attacking midfielder. And then Memo Rodriguez, who's also kind of a defensive player. He's more of an 8, more of a box-to-box guy, but super defensive. And that was the midfield that was out there for a good chunk of the second game as well. So I think right now they're just concentrating on not getting blown out. Vermees, after the Miami game, said this is a game we'd have lost 3-0 last year. So he was pretty thrilled just to only lose by 1. And he goes, hey, we got beat by the best player in the world. You know, how do you combat that? So it was expectations are low. I'm not too worked up about it. I kind of this is bad, but I kind of hope Miami just win so we can get out of CCC and we can just start focusing on winning some league games. Let's play all the backups and the kids.
Even though if you were to miraculously win tomorrow, and I don't mean any disrespect by saying miraculously, but if you were to somehow win tomorrow and move on, you play against Cavalier, right? The Jamaican champs.
You would have an opportunity.
All of a sudden, you're looking like, oh, I could make it to the quarterfinals. So, I mean,
but then it's just more games where you're stretched thin and you're not putting your best players out there in MLS games, and injuries start to pile up. Sporting made a run in the 2019 CONCACAF Champions League, and they got all the way to the semifinals and then got just shellacked by Monterrey 10-2 aggregate over 2 games. It was awful.
Oh, damn.
So
10-2.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And then it ruined the season. Like, we picked up so many injuries from that. Guys were out for months. They never recovered. And honestly, I don't know if the team's ever recovered since 2019. They haven't really had a really, really good season since then. So let's just get this CCC nonsense over with. You guys can have this one. That's how I feel about it. I don't think the coach or the players would agree with you, but that's how I feel about it.
These 2 tight turnarounds are dangerous as far as injuries go. Mascherano blames the hammy injury for Cello and the hammy injury for Fafa, both on the tight turnaround for the CCC and the fact that it was Wednesday, Saturday. And we're gearing up to play again on Tuesday. So definitely, I agree. I remember the Union, they went and they had an amazing regular season. They won the Supporter Shield. The next season, they went into the Champions Cup and they focused so much on that they started off horribly in the MLS regular season. And once they finally got eliminated from there, they started picking up steam again towards the end of the season. So it definitely, if you don't have a chance to win it, I could see why you just want to just bow out already.
Yeah, and think of Seattle. They're the only team that's won this competition from an MLS standpoint, and that was the only year they've missed the playoffs. They win what was CCL at the time, and then they missed the playoffs. It broke like a 10-year streak of them making the playoffs. So Sporting aren't on a 10-year streak; they're on a 0-year streak. So let's just get focused on MLS play and move on. I'm wondering if you all think, and I wasn't on for the beginning of the podcast to hear. I was, doing adult things, boring, and I wonder, do you think all your old guys are going to keep playing? They're playing 90 minutes every game. Now there's 2 days rest, and then are all the old guys going to start again?
Well,
Unfortunately.
that's where I think they're going to start. Absolutely. I think that's where the downfall is going to be for Sporting KC, to be honest, because I feel like your quality is going to be better considering the weather's going to be way better. You're playing on grass. I mean, these guys are going to be playing on icy grass. Like, nobody was able to plant their foot. Nobody was able to make an effective pass. So I think that you guys are going to look better than you did the first game. I can see that.
I love your optimism, Chris. I'm not sure if
But
that's
we
true
will
or not.
also look better, Chris.
Yes, we will.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
saying, but I'm trying to not take anything away from KC. I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're
I
going to look better,
apologize.
but we're going to destroy
Well-
them, I think.
I think so too, and I think there was some plays in that game. I don't know if you probably saw. You only had one shot on goal the whole game. Obviously, the one that went in the net, but there was some missed hits that I think would have been much more dangerous had the ball not been frozen.
Suarez,
And
the one.
I thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure Messi like almost broke his toe on a free kick in the first half because he was right in front of me and he looked like he was grabbing his foot afterwards. I was like, I can't imagine what it feels like to kick a ball. I don't know. You guys are in Miami, so you're not used to like really cold weather, but like if you get your foot stomped on when it's cold, it's like the worst pain ever. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I did see in the chat, Mr. Krabs still thinking the frosted tips. You think I'm wearing Abercrombie? I'm wearing a Sporting KC jacket, bro.
Why you think he's wearing Abercrombie and Fitch because of the Sporting?
It's probably this weird, like it says like welcome in a bunch of different languages on the shoulders. So we're just being
Wasn't that a
multicultural
song at
over
one
here.
point? Wasn't that a song? I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch in the summer.
That was
Yeah.
that was a corny
That was
ass
a song.
Well, who was that by?
I don't know.
You don't
Probably
know?
like
I don't
Hootie
know
and the
either.
Blowfish.
Nah, Hootie and Blowfish, they make songs like
No,
that.
that's not right. No, that was very like poppy. I feel like that's something
Yeah.
my wife would have been into in her youth.
For sure. You know what? I have no idea when that song came out, but I could almost guarantee it was like 1999.
The LFO, there you go. Mitch has it. That's totally a band my wife would have been into.
There you go.
Let's shout out Rick A with the super duper schmoober slam. Says it was so cold in SKC that Chris's computer was still freezing today. Absolutely. The cold reached here. And I'll tell you one thing, LFO shout out. LFO? I don't even remember LFO. Is that that has to be the only song they made.
I just remember that song for some reason.
Does Chad Smith like Tech 9 by Mr.
What's
Krabs?
Tech 9?
So
He's a rapper.
Tech 9 is the Kansas City rapper. Yeah, and he's got a lot of songs with like referencing Kansas City. When the KC Current, they score, they play a Tech 9 song. So yeah, I mean, I've grown up with them, but I have no particular attachment to Mr. 9. I believe that's how he goes, Mr. 9.
Yes. Now, as far as like what I was going to mention, because one of the things that you had talked about was
I'm sorry. I had to look it up, and the song is called Summer Girls, and it came out 1999. All right.
Oh, nice. Okay. Messi did, look like his toes were hurting. But one of the things is, I think it was Benjamin Kremaki, or was it Fafa Picot that mentioned it was like kicking a brick. Now, even when the ball, like, we don't deal with the cold and all that stuff, but when the ball gets wet, it is heavier. It is harder to kick. But imagine putting icy rain on that, and it's like -4, feels like -20. It's got to be awful. Nobody wants to play anything.
Chad, did people blame Miami for the move from Tuesday to Wednesday?
I do think there was a lot of people saying they thought it was because of Messi and they were trying to favor Messi, but I just heard it was safety situation in terms of if it's snowing and the snow is on you and you're wet, it's much more dangerous. I want to say, wasn't it Matt Turner or something that got like frostbite playing in one of these crazy U.S. men's national team games in maybe Minnesota
for the U.S.
or
men's
something
national
one
team.
time?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that was a crazy.
It's fine.
That's crazy game.
Honestly, I'm glad it wasn't snowing. So I was in, as I predicted, I was in the portion of the press box that was outside, and it was very cold. I was dressed appropriately though, and then some of the Univision guys, I don't know, maybe they just gave up, but they left, and I took their seat inside in the second half. It was great.
Nice.
So they gave up on Messi. They missed the goal. They didn't even see it. They were gone. So
How did you feel after the game?
I was honestly, for a Sporting Kansas City fan, it felt like progress. You put
Okay.
in and you don't give up a bunch of goals to Miami. You looked competitive. We didn't look like we were ever going to score. Shallowy had the one decent chance where he just blasted it
We
right at the
didn't either,
keeper.
though.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
It
It's
was a
you
sloppy
lose on a
game.
moment of magic by
Mhm.
Messi. It's like you can't even really be that upset at it. A lot of people were complaining about the defense on that play. I'm like, he was surrounded. There's people all around him. He's just doing Messi magic. What do you do to stop that? And they were complaining. Pulskamp should have saved it. He put it in the perfect spot. He screened by his defenders. It's just a really good play. And I think people were way more upset by Sporting in the Austin game on the weekend, losing that 1-0. But again, one weird goal that bounced off the face of a player into the net accidentally. He didn't even mean to get it, and it just kind of trickled in. Whatever. Early season blues. I'm just looking forward to this team getting better, and it's probably not going to happen in Miami, but hopefully they can look better at home against San Jose, because San Jose looked pretty good last week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
San
did.
Jose is going to take over the West Coast, to be honest, in my opinion. Amanda W is saying, Chris, if you bet, you're dead to us. There's already been a couple of people saying that I shouldn't bet, Danny.
Because
I
you're horrible. You lose consistently.
Oh, do you jinx your team? Is that a thing,
Oh,
Chris?
so much. And then
Absolutely. And the
he
problem
refused to
is,
stop.
I'm look, but I'm not jinxing because we're still winning. Like we still win, we still do good. I put a lot of things on my bets. Like last week, I put Inter Miami wins and that Tadeo Agenda would score, and he didn't even see the field. He didn't start. He didn't come off the bench. What an awful bet I made.
This
See,
is
like a
bad.
good parlay is what you're saying. You have to weird parlays because the odds on a win just are going to pay you enough.
Well, because I'm not putting
I don't know.
$100
Miami
on a
win.
bet. I'll put like $2-3, do it like a little 4 or 5 little parlay. If I hit, I make like $4,000 off a $5 bet. Now, I do have to shout out to Zabusa 9993. Shout out to you. I was in the stands for all 90. Can confirm it was cold. That is awful.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. I mean, how many layers are you wearing?
Chad wasn't
in that,
even
Chad?
supposed to take it for 90 minutes. He waited till Univision left and ran inside.
Exactly. I'm soft as hell, and I have no problem admitting it. I was happy to get out of that ridiculous cold.
How was the
You just
stadium?
set yourself up right now to the chat. I'm just letting you know.
I'm just who I am as a person. It is what it is.
How was the stadium look? Because on the TV it looked half empty.
Oh yeah, it was definitely half empty. The official attendance was listed as like 15,000 something, but there's no way there were 15,000 people in there. Honestly, there were more people than I thought there were going to be. I thought it was going to be
Okay.
very empty. I don't know if the Messi chants were coming across on the broadcast, but there was definitely a Messi chant at the opening kick and at the start of the second half, and then way too many cheers when he scored a goal. I'm like, what team are you all rooting for? So probably the Messi people coming out, getting a much cheaper ticket than they got last year at Arrowhead. It
For
was
sure.
expensive to go to that game. So I had my family in the nosebleeds while I sat in the nice press box at Arrowhead last year. And it was pretty expensive to put him in the nosebleeds too. But I was like, how many times can I say my kid got to see Messi play? So, you got to do it.
And the people that stayed during that cold, they got to see a little Messi magic because that was beautiful. And shout out to Busquets, also doesn't get enough credit for that pass that landed right on Messi's chest. But man, the way Messi brought that ball down and handled it between two defenders, beautiful. All right.
Can I give a shout out to Hammy in the chat? Chad gets a Funko Pop every time SKC loses. You all can't even begin to see how bad this pop wall is behind me, but it's all Star Wars. It's super nerdy, and there's over 500 of them. It's crazy. So I don't think Sporting have lost 500 times in their career.
Holy
They're all Star Wars except for this very one. My little doppelganger holding a soccer ball here. So just same hair and everything.
I don't
No
know if I
frosted
should
tips,
mention this. Yeah, no frosted tips. I don't know if I should mention this, Chad, but my birthday is May 4th. And I absolutely hate that my birthday's on May 4th. I hate
Well, may
Star
the
Wars.
fourth be with you, Chris.
No. Killer.
Yeah. Should we expect the same 11 tomorrow night, Chad, as last week?
From Sporting KC, I think that they will probably rotate. You've seen some guys come in. They rotated the lineup a little bit against Austin on the weekend. Honestly, I've no idea what to expect. We got to talk to Vermees and Pulskamp today, and they're just saying all the things that you expect them to say, that they are going for the win. They believe they can win. They believe in themselves. But again, no goals in 2 competitive games, 2 goals in 6 preseason games. You got to score at least once just to get it to PKs. If they shut Miami out, which seems incredibly unlikely, and then if we score
Yeah.
2 or more goals and win, we would advance on away goals or just straight up win. But that doesn't seem likely. I just want to see more progress. And if it's all kids out there and backups, and then we just pack it in until the weekend until San Jose, I'd be fine with that. I know that's not the best take in the world, but whatever. Onward and
No, no.
upwards. We got to focus on league play.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that going straight to it, then I guess you could put numbers on it. What's your prediction?
I think it could potentially get pretty out of hand depending on what lineup is. And I'm not saying in terms of Sporting Kansas City winning this game. Yeah, exactly.
You don't think they'll play like just play for the counter, to kind of just defend to make sure that they don't lose by a lot, like you said earlier, and just hope for the best on a counter?
It could be a situation where they play defensively. Again, the problem is we don't really have a ton of speed on this roster. I'd say probably the fastest guy we have it was named Elenis Vargas, and they cut him on Friday. I don't know if you saw these quotes. He's a 21-year-old winger. He's from Honduras. He didn't play a ton last year. He played like 600 minutes, 3 goals, 2 assists. But he's really fast. But he just started playing soccer and he's 16, so he's raw. And he gets out there. And he gets cut at like 7 o'clock on a Friday night. And then we got a quote from Vermees after the game. And it was not like, we wish him the best. He's, he has better opportunities. It was like, he's going to have to go figure out what he wants to do with his career. And I was like, oh, Peter,
wow.
no holding back. So outside of that, like probably Steven Afrifa is our next fastest attacking player. And he's barely played. Willie Gott is pretty quick. It's possible they play him if you want to go for the counter. And then maybe bring on Dayon and Manu Garcia if the game's close late. But otherwise, I'd rest them and try to impress your home crowd. And they're pretty upset. They all want Vermees fired already, and we're only 1 game into the MLS season. So let's be patient.
Who do you guys have next week?
San Jose is our game on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. You said it a little while ago. That's right. Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, they look pretty good. So we'll see.
But RSL had heavy rotation. They rotated like 7 of their starters because they were getting ready for this week's Champions Cup. So that has a lot to do with it also.
And then it's at home. They're on short rest. Yeah, there's so many different things going on that it's hard to read too much into these games early in the season. You've seen plenty of teams look really good out of the gate, and then they fade quickly. So we're going for the slow build in Kansas City, the slow build.
There you go. As long as it starts after us, we're good. All right. So you said it could get out of hand quick. Do you have just an idea of a number?
Let's say 3-1 Miami, and because I think you guys you've been showing you're a little susceptible to getting beat on the counter, and if we put in some guys that can put that speed out there, and maybe if Manu's dropping dimes, it's a possibility. He had some pretty decent passes and touches when he came into the game, but again, he's been at the team for a little over a week at this point. He's like barely practiced with these guys, so a little bit more time, a little bit more chemistry.
And Dennis Lopez is predicting 1-1, which we'd still on aggregate, we'd still move on, so it'll be good. Now, if we end up, we're good because we won last game. Chris,
I think it's going to be a thrashing. I'm more with Jeff. 5-2, Miami. This is a little extreme. I don't think it's going to be 5-2, but I think it's going to be like 3-1. That's going to be my score. Oh, right here.
KC goes off of frame mistakes.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. My name is Jeff. You don't deserve the voice. 3-1, CCC trophy coming home. Visionary says 1-1. Rick A says 5-0. Rocco scores twice. And then Amanda says 4-1.
4-1. I'm going to go 2-0.
Okay.
I don't know.
Miami King route.
Maybe 3. KC hasn't looked impressive at all as far as them scoring. So I don't know if they'll score much, but I will tell you that Suarez has to get on the board. It took him 3 games last year to finally get on, and then finally turn the thing around. This is game number 3 of the season. He's got to get 1.
This is going to be my official bet for everybody that wants to know what I'm going to bet. 2-0. Allende and Messi scored. This is what I'm betting. Put the house on it.
And Florida man asked why the crisscross look for me with the backwards. I'm assuming you missed the beginning of the episode, Florida man. On Saturday, Chad, we just randomly went off on a tangent about all the people that insult us for not talking about Messi enough. So we brought
Yeah.
in a brand new intro one time for this show, and we came out. I came out with my Messi stuffy. I got my Messi soccer ball over here. So we want to make sure that we gave Messi love because apparently we don't give it to him enough. So, and you know what? Just so that everybody can enjoy one more time for the outro, first time we're gonna play that intro just one last time because it's getting retired after today. So, well, I'll
Yes.
play it before we ride out of here today. Chris, do you have any questions for Chad before we let Chad go? Because I mean,
There is
you
there
ran
are
through the
questions
today. Oh, really? Okay.
There
Chad,
are
do you wanna
questions for Chad.
Give us a minute to answer some more questions. We don't play
Yeah.
KC this year, do we? In the regular season.
No.
No, not at
Oh,
all.
so this is like you see Chad on the Battered Herons this year?
Yes, it is. So you got to make
Oh,
sure you
wow.
get it in while you can get it in.
Well, if
All
you,
right.
I don't know, do you guys play St. Louis? I could come on here and talk some shit about St. Louis, maybe.
Nice. Okay, we could have like a St. Louis preview, and then just have Chad come and clothesline the guy from the top line.
That's it.
From the
Just to
top
finish it
bar.
off with the final thoughts. Yeah.
Now, Mike V
All right.
thought I thought we got Rick rolled, right? I guess he says that you look like Rick Astley, and then we have
I don't get it.
Mitch says, "Okay, I have a question. What is the best Star Wars movie, and why is it Empire Strikes Back?" But then
Yeah,
he
he's
also
right.
says, "It
It
is.
is
You
Empire
think
Strikes
so?"
Back.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's just like this greatest cinematic moment in movie history. You know, Vader
I mean, the
unveiling that he is
greatest.
Luke's father. But I did see a little Rogue One love in there too, and Rogue One is definitely my second favorite Star Wars movie. Really good, underrated. Go watch Andor on Disney Plus. They're not even paying
What's
me
Rogue
anything. I just
One?
love it. So it's like a prequel to A New Hope, which is episode 4, which is kind of the first movie from 1977. So it's just this story of like
Oh,
how did they get the Death Star plans?
okay. I've seen that. So episode 1, 2, and 3. You're talking about?
No. So in between 1, 2, and 3. So it's like in between 3 and 4. It's confusing. Star Wars
Oh,
numbering is very
interesting.
odd.
No,
I
I didn't
recommend it.
know
And
that.
then the TV show Andor, there's like no lightsabers or anything. It's just like what's it like to live under the crushing weight of the Empire. Very good. Season 1 just came out a few years ago, and season 2 is about to come out. So the
I liked
last,
episode 3. I liked episode 3.
yeah.
I just don't understand though, Chad. Like I've been wanting to watch Star Wars, but it really upsets me that movie 1 is not really movie 1. It's like number 3, and then I got to watch number 4 to actually see number 1. So like, am I supposed to watch this in the time it was released, or am I supposed to watch it in
I
different
think you
orders?
could watch it episode 1 through 9, can't you?
I think that's
Watch it that way.
unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I would say watch it in the order that they came out. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Then I guess if you have to watch the sequels 7, 8, 9. But the Rogue One's good. It's not
You
it's
didn't
not a
like
numbered
7, 8,
one.
9?
It's an anthology. They're fine. They have good moments. They have bad moments. But we don't want to get into
I
all
never
the Star Wars.
watched 9.
I could do like an hour on Star Wars if y'all want to turn this into a Star Wars podcast. I think Chris would like that actually.
Well, I hate Star Wars, but like I want to get into it, but I just
You
don't
ever
know
gone
how.
to You ever gone to Disney World?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, Disneyland, but yeah, same idea.
Ugh.
Oh, do they have the Star Wars
And-
thing over there also?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have
they
it there. Mhm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. Any other questions, Chris?
No. Oh, now people are just kicking me out. So I mean, I guess I get the pass because I was born on May 4th, but like, who cares? It's my birthday, not Star Wars Day. Fuck
Star
it.
Wars came first, sir.
Yeah, it's 1977. Are you that old, Chris?
No, I'm not. I 85.
Okay.
Barely, by a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
How do
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
how-
older than you, Chris. Jeez, how is that possible? Don't I look so much younger than Chris, y'all?
listen?
very
You have
young,
better.
Chad.
Listen, honestly, you do look very young, and you have better hair than I do for sure. So
Absolutely.
I mean, people are giving me a red card. Like, what?
All right, Chad, we appreciate you hanging out with us one more time. Hopefully, we can figure out a reason to get you on because you're very fun. Please let everybody know where they can find you if in case they want more KC talk or Star Wars talk.
Yeah, Or yeah, I'd love to talk to y'all about Star Wars. So our website is KC Soccer Journal. My podcast is For the Glory KC, and then I'd say that the best place, just go follow me on Twitter at Play490, or if you're a Blue Sky person, at Chad C Smith, and you'll see everything that I'm doing because I'll post it all on those places.
So make sure that you go right now on your phones. Make sure you go ahead and go follow him on all those platforms, especially Twitter. All right, Batter Star Wars. No, but we've considered a Batter Disney, which I guess that would fall under the umbrella. But
you can count me out of that.
Everybody keeps telling us we need to come up with a better name though, because Batter Disney, everybody's telling us that that's not a good idea. So I don't know.
Yeah, it could be meaning something completely different. But if you do that, I'm happy to come back and talk some nerdy Star Wars with you. I love that stuff.
Absolutely.
We were supposed to name it Batter Disney Dads.
Yes, that was the original. Yeah.
Yikes.
Chris, any final thoughts?
I mean, I think it would be weird if we don't put dads. Like if we're just battered Disney guys, like I feel like a guy going, I don't know. I mean, battered Barbies, soccer daddy. We'll put that in the back burner. We'll see what's happening.
Like that was the original artwork right there. That was the original artwork right there.
Yes.
So we weren't joking. We were serious about it. All right. Any final thoughts, Chris?
No, let's go. Let's get to the Espanol. Play this intro out.
That's right. We're going to be on. Las Garzas FC will be on at 10 o'clock. So if you want to keep talking Herons, but in Espanol, make sure you join us at 10 o'clock. Las Garzas FC on the other Las Garzas channel. And we're gonna don't log off yet. If you guys missed it, we're gonna play that one-time Messi intro for you one more time. So listen out for that. And as always, on audio, leave us a comment, 5 stars. YouTube, like and subscribe. And those of you in the chat, always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us for the last 57 minutes. And I'll leave you with this other banger by Mr. KBD, as he does. So here we go. We'll be back tomorrow for the post-game show.
You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Heralds are back. Messi plays football with 10 on his back. Messi goes, Messi great. Messi. Leo Messi is the best. Messi. Football Messi, soccer Messi. Quality in the final third. Messi. Link up play, run in space. Messi. Football analysis, compact defense. Messi. Overlapping runs, high press. Messi. High line, tiki-taka. Messi.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.